This week at Busted Chicken, we're dropping videos to help you celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States of America. We're pulling in the best adjectives for this, including fun, inspiring, action-packed, bloody, and of course, well, expected. Today, we're kicking things off with one of our greatest presidents, capturing a side of history that's either been retconned severely or covered up incredibly well. He didn't just work to end slavery, he also fought against a legion of undead monsters, saving the country from a horde of bloodthirsty, soulless heathens, and while I could make an obvious joke here, I'm going to leave that for the talking heads. The other talking heads. Instead, I am, of course, talking about Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. A story in a movie that basically drank an entire keg and then wrote itself using lines of cocaine instead of ink out of a pen. The film tells the bloody tale of how our 16th president became a hard-hitting, axe-wielding dispatcher of the Walking Dead, far before Blade, Whistler, or even Van Helsing. After witnessing the death of his mother at the hands of a creepy bastard with dark eyes, shitty teeth, and a serious need for a dermatologist, a young Lincoln grows up intent on enacting his revenge against what he thinks is really just an ugly-ass meth head. When he gets his chance, our hero quickly realizes two things once he confronts his enemy. Number one, his gun really sucks. When he does manage to fire it, it can barely take out an eyeball, which wouldn't kill anybody. Maybe next time, don't buy your firearms from Nerf. Oh, the other thing is that he realizes this guy isn't human. This revelation opens up a whole new world to Lincoln, as he becomes aware that real monsters do actually exist, and they are out for the blood of humans like him. Fortunately, a man named Henry intervenes, pulling off the first of many spectacularly deranged physics-defying moves. He later explains that vampires are real, like somehow Lincoln didn't already realize that by now, and that he himself is a vampire hunter. After hearing this, Lincoln agrees to join him in dispatching the undead assbags, setting him on a path that history books seem to never include. The movie tracks Lincoln's early life, working as a store clerk, studying for the bar exam, chopping off vampire heads, getting with Mary Todd, dumping bodies, entering politics. It's all there. The action scenes are definitely a major draw for this movie, and you're going to get a lot of them before he even becomes president. As the story unfolds, we find out that Henry has an untold past, which shocks literally nobody. We also find out that vampires have their own thing going on, and that Lincoln's actions are disrupting it. This, of course, puts a target on his stovepipe. More than that, it leads to some pretty devastating consequences for his son William, who, as history tells us, was stricken with typhoid fever. This movie, however, has another theory. And of course, any film about Abraham Lincoln wouldn't be complete without mentioning the most important part of his Wikipedia page, the Civil War. We only see a few battles, but suffice to say, one goes particularly poorly once a bunch of toothy cadavers show up and start massacring everybody. Things come to a head later in the film when Lincoln has to battle it out with Adam, the leader of the vampires. The result is a visual special effects gangbang on your eyes. So much is happening all at once, from a slaughter fest to destruction and explosions to train wrecks. It's all totally bonkers, but so is the premise for this movie, and nobody really cares because it's just a lot of mindless fun to watch. When Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter came out in 2012, it took in $116 million on a budget of somewhere between $70 million and $100 million, depending on the source. The actual total seems to be a bit confusing, but in either case, it was not a theatrical success, by any means. That said, I really don't care. I've been a fan of horror films since I could operate a VCR, so I tend to gravitate toward movies like this. On top of that, while the premise might be a bit nuts, it's not a terrible concept, and it was executed pretty well, with acting that was more than decent. Adding in the special effects, and you've got a movie that I pull back out every few months to a year or so when I get bored and I want to watch something different. Something that isn't part of a franchise and has a whole hell of a lot of WTF going on in it. And when you've got a horror-inspired movie produced by Tim Burton, you're going to get exactly that. The movie stars Benjamin Walker, Dominic Cooper, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Rufus Sewell, or Sewell, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, the guy from Dark City who finally found Shell Beach. It also has Anthony Mackie from back before he was Captain Falcon America, and Jimmy Simpson from a whole pile of shit you've probably seen. The biggest reason to watch this movie is the off-the-wall action, and I literally mean off the wall. Some of it is just absurd to the point of being laughably awesome, and it works really well for exactly that. From skipping a dude off this crazy tall barn wall, shattering at every step of the way, to smashing a horse-drawn carriage through a window in the wall of a house, ripping an axe through a pine tree, exploding wood all over the place, the movie is just a lot of ridiculous visual fun. Lincoln shouldn't survive most of the things that happen to him in this movie, like having his face smashed through the thick boards of a dock, or having a horse tossed on him. But you don't really care. The action sequences are so ludicrous and engaging that you can't help but enjoy it. Is it historically accurate? Look, first of all, if you're looking for something that's historically accurate, why the hell are you watching a movie called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? That said, some of it actually is, otherwise it wouldn't really work. Then again, maybe all of it's correct and this is how it actually happened. I have no idea, I wasn't there. And we do know that history books don't always tell the truth exactly as things went. So, if you're looking for something with a lot of absurd, high action moments, and you'd like to see a side of our nation's history that won't ever be taught in schools, check out Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. And if you have seen it, drop a comment below. What did you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you liked it, what was your favorite part? Is this a total retcon of Lincoln's life? Or is there actually some nefarious plan to hide from us the truth about the vampire civil war? And what other historical figures would you like to see in films like this? Maybe Lewis and Clark discovering Bigfoot? Benjamin Franklin fighting a chupacabra? We've already had Elvis and JFK versus the Mummy. Why not add more to the list of famous historical figures battling it out with otherworldly beings? Anyway, that's it for now. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it anyway. That helps keep the vampires away. Have a great 4th of July, don't blow off your hand, and have a fantabulous day. Goodbye!